Welcome to the Weekend Warriors Fishing Podcast, presented by 13 Fishing Canada. Make your own luck. We're here to scratch that angling itch and talk everything fishing. Join us as we sit down with special guests from across the industry. Now, here's your hosts, Logan Lewis
and Jesse Cadron.
The Pre-Fish Volume 4. We're hopping right into things here now. We're joined by special guest Adam Gamble, friend of the show. I think your third appearance now?
I think so.
Yeah. No, we got Adam stepped up big here. We had a last-minute cancellation, so that'll be an episode coming down the pipe further down the line here. But Adam stepped up, and we've got a nice pre-fish episode here. It's going to be planning for remote trips and how to pack for those as well. Some useful information as we go into the spring here, kind of when trips get going. We're not going to cover much as far as the winter trips go. I thought this would be kind of timely for the spring, summer, fall trips. So we'll be hopping into that. But before we get into that, we got to get to our sponsors here. First one, 13 Fishing Canada behind me here. If you're watching the video, big thanks to them for being the presenting sponsor of the show. You can head over to the Rapala Canada website and use the code Weekend Warriors to save yourself 15% off the entire website at checkout. I've been doing a little bit of that. Got some leaders actually. Wanted to try out some of the leaders that they had. So those showed up in the mail for a bachelor party northern trip that I've got coming up here in I think the 21st weekend. So we're hoping that the ice is gone. It's currently not. And things aren't looking great.
Start praying.
Yeah.
I've got trips booked in 4 days here, and same thing. I'm starting to think about maybe rescheduling locations and everything else. So.
Man, what a weird spring.
But that's part of the planning, so that's why this episode's going to be good.
It's fair, yeah.
Yeah. Next up, you can see on Jesse's hoodie there, we've got Lac Lamar Adventures coming on as a sponsor of the show this year. Adam, are you guiding up there again this year?
I am indeed. Only 3 weeks this year, but I'll be up there.
Heck yeah.
Sounds good. So you can see 2 out of the 3 people in this podcast right now if you head up there at the right time of the year. But big thanks to them for coming on as a sponsor of the show this year. Get in contact with them. Head over to www.nwtfishing. Is it .ca or .com?
.com, baby.
nwtfishing.com.
Inquire about some dates. I don't know if those dates filled, that they had some cancellations on that were going to be reduced rates, but any time of the year is a great time to go up there and run into one of these 2 beauties that we have on the show today. Next up, Saskatchewan Wildlife Federation. 2 to 3 of us right here on the podcast right now enjoy the Saskatchewan outdoors. We need to get Adam here to enjoy what this province has to offer as well.
That's right.
But huge thanks to them. I was out at Buffalo Pound and saw some of the spawn camp that was going on. I think it was a little bit slower this year, but that's something that the SWF is part of, and that with the fish cultivation station as well, stocking fish all around the province. So some big things. The trout bite's pretty hot right now, it looks like, for the lakes that are opened up. Diefenbaker popping off, everything like that. So big thanks to the Saskatchewan Wildlife Federation for sponsoring the show. Be sure to get your membership. It's an annual membership and renews January 1st. So still lots of time to get it this year. I know I've got mine. Jesse should have his.
Yep. Yeah, I got mine at Horn Scoring.
Yeah, there you go. So big thanks to the SWF for sponsoring the show, as always. Lastly, Angler's Edge Mapping behind me here. I finally got my new Lowrance wired into the boat so that I could run the Angler's Edge maps. They're getting pretty popular here in Saskatchewan, a lot more lakes covered. They're also out in Alberta and out in BC. Obviously, Manitoba being one of the main spots for all their maps, but they're spreading out all over Western Canada here. And so figured, hey, why not toss the Lowrance in here and have those beautiful maps, or you can get prints like the one I have behind me here too. But big thanks to Angler's Edge Mapping as well for coming on as a sponsor of the show. Well, we're going to hop right into things here. This is another episode of the Pre-Fish, kind of quick hitting, straight information, try and get it to you as quick as we can. It usually ends up being around a half an hour. But this one is going to be covering everything on planning for a remote trip and then packing for that trip as well. They kind of obviously go hand in hand. This remote trip could be a fly-in, it could be a drive-in, it could be a boat-in. Lots of this kind of groups into the same stuff here that we're going to be covering, and then a little bit different things for each one as well. So I think we may as well just hop into maybe, Jesse, you want to kind of describe some of these things that we could be looking at for the remote trips?
As in describe as in what kind of trip you'd be planning for? Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
Yeah. So, well, we're talking about a fishing trip, an excessive camping trip, basically. Remote areas, maybe no cell service, maybe probably no mapping on the lakes available. But on the note of, we were talking about how crazy and unpredictable this spring has been, I think it would be good to bring up, I wouldn't have brought this up like 2 years ago on the podcast or last year on the podcast even, but it seems to be getting more and more popular, is the live satellite imaging that a guy is publicly accessible.
Yep.
So not just Google Maps or iHunter, but the NASA live feed or the Copernicus map. Yeah, that is a hot piece of information to have, or a hot tool to have right now to be checking for your live updates on if your ice is coming off where you plan to fish. So like Logan, you're planning to go up to Buffalo Narrows, right? I think on the 21st.
Yeah, Slim's Cabins, so it's
Slim's
I just know
Cabins.
it's Jan Lake North kind of thing
Right.
on the
and,
Churchill.
Yeah, and so like for up there, your Google Maps will tell you, okay, yeah, there's a lake and an island there, but that live satellite imagery to see how that ice is moving or how it's melting, if it's gone, if it's still there, for this anywhere across the prairies, I think is a must, like a number one thing to be looking for. I know, Adam, you use it a ton. You're probably on it every day.
I sure am, especially right now. As like you're saying, I've been checking it pretty much every day. When the sky's been clear, it's nice to check it out. I know a lot of the lakes I have trips planned on for the next 2 weeks north of Edmonton. Not one of them is ice free yet. They are completely shore to shore, covered in ice, and I'm thinking about maybe rescheduling some of those trips or finding different locations just because they're locked in still.
Yeah, yeah. There's nothing you could shore fish, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe get some suckers spawning along the shoreline.
Yeah. Yeah. Or you could do ice fishing trips, but you probably put away all your ice fishing stuff already.
I have.
With your Mustad survival suits.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That live satellite imaging, the one I didn't know about Copernicus. I just used the NASA Worldview, I think is what it was called, and I was actually using that quite a bit last summer to check the fires because they also had a fire overlay on that one too. So that's something to check out as well. Getting into the summer is, once we get into more of the forest fire season too, is kind of keeping an eye on. I know it can change depending on what the wind decides to do, but it's always good to have an idea of what might be going on around you. So that live satellite imaging definitely very important.
It's a must, and I think more and more people are finding out about it now. So it's, I got no problem telling people about it now, but
I didn't know this was a hack.
I was keeping it pretty hush hush because I use it too for checking for new logging cuts in the forest.
Well,
It's
now
good.
you're just
It's a good.
swamping.
I know. It's a good scouting tool, is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Heard there's a
Okay.
big whitetail somewhere.
Yeah,
Nate, you got to talk to the other guy, not me.
yeah, the whitetail guy.
Like you're saying though as well, Logan, it actually does get used quite a bit for firefighting and stuff like that as well, but I wouldn't know anything about that.
Yeah, you're definitely not a firefighter.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
No, you don't like fires.
I've talking about Copernicus versus the NASA website. I find Copernicus has better updating windows, and it also has better screen resolution, so you can zoom in a lot closer and see like the mouth of a creek and see where the ice is actually starting to break up. Versus the NASA Worldview, you can only zoom in so far, and it gets pretty grainy fairly quickly. So
There you
between
go.
the two, I personally prefer to use Copernicus, but yeah.
And if you get a week of clouds, then there's nothing you can do about it.
Yep,
That's true.
You're hooked.
Yeah. No.
Good luck.
For sure. Yeah.
If there's
No,
clouds,
that's
you can assume the ice isn't melting.
yes.
Yeah,
that too. And
It's true.
I guess this is kind of good to mention. This is kind of the pre-trip stuff that we're looking at here, right? So it's definitely, those things can change day by day. Like with my trip that's coming up here, since the main part, like where we're going, is on the Churchill, but where you boat from, it's a boat-in camp, is in a large bay, and I guess that's still locked up. The Churchill should be opening just with the water flow, I think, is by the sounds of it, but they might break ice for us to get out to the to the main river system. So
It sounds like
I'll
you're
be
gonna have
packing
fun.
warm. Yeah, I'm not going to be packing any shorts or anything, I don't think.
Oh, that's good. And well, speaking of packing, transition this. The first thing I do before any trip, and like a lot of this stuff we're going to talk about, I'm sure a seasoned veteran guy has probably already been through and got all through this. But I think the novice angler that maybe hasn't done a fishing trip that's 4 or 5, 6, 7, 8 hours away, or a fly-in trip, some of this I think is going to be helpful. But the first thing I'm doing in the planning is I'm writing a damn list. I'm a big list guy. I'm writing a list for all the fishing tackle I might need, and I'm going to try and simplify that as much as I can. That's a whole nother topic about what you're fishing for. But like food plan, a meal prep, write out your days, your nights, if you're going to be there on Thursday night and you're going to need breakfast, lunch, dinner, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and come home Monday, write it all out. Pick what you want, because there's nothing worse than I shouldn't say nothing worse. It's always a good thing to have more than enough food. But like bringing home food that's going to spoil or go bad, or wasting room on cooler space for food you're not going to eat it's just not efficient. And I'm not a fan of that. I need to have a list and a meal plan. Eat some fish, eat some potatoes, and eat well if you can have the room.
And it's easy enough. I've kind of started. I was checking out my notepad here, because the first year I went up guiding, I basically split the notepad sheet into quadrants. There's 4 quadrants or 4 squares, and I put basically, it was like, I guess it'd be more your hygiene and like living, and then it was fishing, and then it was gear, and then like kind of break it down into categories. Some things could fit in a couple categories, but making sure you had all that. And then I had started for a bit was if it was an ice fishing trip or a summer trip, and depending on if it was taking my boat or if it was going to be a drive-in, having just a list you can revisit every time too is kind of nice. And it's just as easy to do that on your phones now too, with notes apps or whatever along those lines. So definitely the list just helps you put your thoughts into writing, always helps, but then also you can double check that. I sometimes actually, on the one year, I had 3 check marks beside each one. It was I had put it in my pile to be packed, and then another check mark for it had actually been packed, and then another check mark for double checking that it had been packed.
I like
and once
that.
each one had 3
like
check
that.
marks, it was good to go.
I like that.
So
Checklists are huge, man. There's a reason that airline pilots and everything else have their checklist before every flight, so they don't miss something. And there's certain things that if you're going on a boat-in trip and you forget a bolt plug, guess what? You're gonna have a bad trip.
Or you lost the only boat plug that you have and you didn't bring a spare.
Yeah, and I mean, there's only so much preparation. Like you could say, like you could get as crazy as you wanted, right? Bring an extra battery, bring an extra this, bring an extra that, and you could just end up bringing 2 of everything, which isn't really as efficient. So it's trying to, I guess, make that work.
You're just trying to like cater to the trip you're doing, right? Like, if you have the room and the space, like, then you can bring. I went on a fishing trip back in the day with my dad up to Gordon Lake, and this guy from Looseland, and he was the kind of guy that brought 10 of everything. Didn't matter like how long he was going to be there. He always planned, I think, for like 12 days roughly, but he brought 10 of everything. When I mean everything, I mean like he brought 10 cans of potatoes. He brought 10 cream pies of each flavor. He brought 10 fishing rods. He bought 12 or 10 reels, 10 tackle boxes. Like it was insane the amount of shit that he had.
Yeah.
We called it the warehouse of the North, because when he got done unloading all of his stuff out of his camper and his boat, it was just like aisles of shit. It was wild.
Yeah.
Did his name happen to be Kim?
Yeah, shit.
Yeah.
Coolie Bear, actually, was his name.
Coolie
Coolie
Bear.
Bear. Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess with you, Adam, for those that are listening that don't know, Adam does a lot of, it's not just one-day trips, right? Like you're planning trips for a couple days.
Yeah.
It could be camping. It could be whatever. So as far as like for yourself, do you have like a set list down And is your gear in your basement or your garage?
Yep, keep it all basically in the basement.
Okay.
My rack system or whatever it is, I've got my different tackle, sleeping bags, whatever I need for each trip that I go on, so I can grab my checklist and then pull everything off the shelves as I need it. Depending on the trip I'm going on, whether guys want to be fishing for walleye, pike, maybe we're doing a lake trout trip. Could be in cabins, like you said, on one trip and then camping on the next trip. So if I head into cabins, sure, I got to bring along some sleeping bags, maybe some pillows, but then the next trip's camping. Well, now I need my outfitter tent, cot, sleeping bags, everything else, and just having it all organized, ready to go is a huge asset.
Yeah, if anyone's ever seen an Instagram story from Adam Gamble of his organization in his basement of his fishing and camping gear, boy howdy, it's a sight to see. It is some goals right there, and it all makes sense when you hear it coming from you on how prepared you got to be or how to change it up.
It makes your life easier on the day of packing for a trip, and you're not looking for like, oh, where's that extra camp stove, or where did I put this, where did I put that? You just know where it is, you can grab it, and away you go.
There's another good thing I just kind of thought of, because I haven't actually done it, but I probably will now, is you know how when you're, even whether you're taking a flight somewhere, just on vacation or whatever, packing for a trip, there's always those last minute things that you need the night before you're going to leave, right? And then you also have to make sure to pack those that morning. You can get your truck as packed as you want for the trip, but there's going to be at least a handful of things that you can't pack until that morning. It's good to have a list just for that as well, because that's usually the thing you end up forgetting. Or I text myself all the time. I'll just text my phone number if I think of something quick, and then I can go back and check that too.
Yeah.
On that note, Logan, I literally will put whatever, a single short list on my steering wheel in my truck or on my seat, so that when I get in my truck in the morning, I can look at that list and go, okay, got this. Oh, I forgot that. I got to go get that.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how many times in the past I have driven away from home and been like, I don't have a phone charger. And sure, whatever, it's not the end of the world, but there's certain things that are important. That you leave some of your food in the fridge overnight instead of putting it in the cooler. Now you're short a day and a half of food. That makes a big difference.
Yeah,
sure,
for sure.
Big time.
Yeah, your bait or stuff too. That's a big one. Yeah. If you're going out for, say, Last Mountain for the day, you don't want to forget your leeches or something in the fridge, right? No. I mean, artificials work too, but it's nice to have leeches.
Yeah, and then you don't have to buy some again, or track down a store, wait for a gas station to open up that might have leeches and blah blah blah.
And when we were planning for this, I didn't realize how much you could talk about lists, but kind of leaning into the meal prep as well. I make, like, if it's 3 days, if you've got Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I make a line going down, a row for each one, and then I split the columns up into breakfast, lunch, and supper. And you write in those squares what you're going to do for those. And it's always good to plan if you're going on a fishing trip, because that's what we're talking about here mainly. Yeah, you can plan for a shore lunch here or a fish fry for supper, but also just have something that could get you by if unfortunately the fishing sucks.
Yeah, or bad weather.
Right? Bad weather, right.
Like it's nice to ice game still.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
you better have brought a lot of beer.
Yeah, no, exactly. So that's kind of a big thing there. I don't know if we have anything else to touch on as far as planning.
I do. Prep work. No matter how much prep work you do, just understand that something is going to go wrong no matter what. Doesn't matter what it is, something is going to go wrong. You can pack all the spare tires you want, all the patch kits, everything else. Last summer, driving home from one trip, I got 2 flat tires on my truck and 1 on my boat trailer. It's something. And guess what? Sure, I've got a spare tire for the boat trailer and I got a patch kit for the truck, but it's not... That's taxing on an individual when you got to stop 3 times and fix tires.
Holy crud!
Plan for the unexpected as well. Understand it's going to happen, and don't let it ruin your trip.
So I'll ask you this: say you're trailing your boat on a trip, 4 hours away. You blow a tire like you talked about, and then you blow another tire, and you can't repair it. Whatever. What are you unhooking you're in no service either? Are you unhooking your boat and going to find a tire or are you like what? Like I don't want to leave my boat is my thing. I always think about that. Like what would
Absolutely.
I do?
So my piece of advice with that is pack a hitch lock.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that you could
You never
abandon
know.
it.
It's better to have that tiny little hitch lock with you that you can power on there if you end up needing to ditch your trailer for whatever reason. Thankfully, I've only blown one tire before, but I know Kyle Kalbeck has talked about he drove, I don't remember where he was going into with his boat, but he blew 2 tires on his trailer and he had to ditch his boat for a while.
Dang.
Yeah. No, just be the whole drive there, like to go find help and then come back with
yeah.
something would be.
It'd be so
And
stressful, man.
I guess then too, maybe consider taking like if I'm thinking about it, I'd be taking a couple screens out of my boat, probably trying to take some rods
Yeah.
out. Like don't leave
Yeah.
too much in there.
Yeah.
I mean, it all depends. If you can tuck it into the bush too, like yeah, if the tire's just flat, I mean, I don't think it'd hurt it too much to try and tuck it away off the road,
No.
off the side of the road. But I mean, the tire's wrecked already, anyways, so
yeah.
may as well. But no, I just thought of that. I want to know what you guys would do.
A
I
hitch
think-
lock. That's clever. That's a good thing to throw in at him. A hitch lock.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
at the
Jesse's
end of the-
upset about that because he's the guy who drives around looking for boats that are abandoned.
Yeah, I got 6 of them sitting at the farm.
Yeah.
Hitch locks. I mean, not boats. No.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's.
I think Adam would be a good guy to touch on simplifying tackle and how to, like, if you were going on a pike and walleye combo trip, like, and then you got to supply rods for three people, as you being a guide, that this is what you do. Like, how are you managing what you're bringing so you just don't have 6 tackle boxes all over your boat when you're already pressed for room?
He's
So
just bringing a
that's-
Len Thompson.
Yeah, so that's one thing. I'm pretty fortunate when I do my trips. I do have the option to bring basically as much tackle as I want, and I typically do. But
Okay.
at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure most anglers understand that if you're going fishing for walleye, you need a few jigs, maybe some smaller spoons. If you're going fishing for pike, a couple big flashy spoons, maybe a crankbait or 2, you're going to catch fish. If you're heading into a remote location where fish do not see heavy pressure, if you stick to those classic baits like Rapala Original Floater or a Husky Jerk in a perch
Yep.
pattern, maybe a silver blue, grab a couple 5 of diamonds in different sizes, and just make sure you got a handful of leaders. You're set.
Yeah.
You are
Yeah.
going to catch fish and you're going to have a great time. You
You're
don't need to have 25 Bondi baits and frickin' this and that and everything else and Ned rigs and this. You'll catch fish.
I feel attacked right now.
No, I think
Yeah.
you're exactly right, Adam.
That's a good point on where you're going. Lots of these trips, you're going places where there's more fish than you could hope, and they don't see a lot of people, and like it's kind of you're usually going
Yeah.
on these trips for a reason, right? Like the fishing is probably going to be pretty good. Lots of the other stuff too, like when it comes tournament time, lots of what I fished. If I had a jig head and a plain hook, I'm pretty well good to go, right?
Yeah.
Lots of the other stuff. I mean, you might go cranking later in the fall or whatever, but when it really comes down to it, lots of the other stuff that I end up having, it's just because I find it cool to catch on different techniques and whatever, right? And yeah, obviously some of the stuff out there is to catch the fisherman, not the fish, when it comes to lures. But on lots of these trips, you can really simplify things, especially if you're on a fly-in, because for anyone who hasn't really been on one, lots of times there's weight restrictions as far as what you can bring, and that's all your gear. That's your clothing, any
Your
other
tackle.
personal stuff. Your tackle's a big one, right? So it's kind of tough if you're wanting to bring lead. Well, you're literally just bringing straight weight that's taken away from everything else you can bring. It all depends where you're going, right? Like
Yeah.
if it's tough that way, but
And the lodge or wherever you're flying into, they'll make it aware if there is a weight restriction, and you should follow that. Otherwise, there could be some problems. You'll be ditching some stuff, but yeah.
yeah, that's
Make sure
kind
you
of a
follow
big
the
thing.
weight restrictions for sure.
Yeah, no, that's obviously not an issue if you're driving in or boating in. For the most part, like some of my boating trips when we go camp out on an island, that you can't even fit a person in the boat. Like you're sitting on top of stuff, and yeah, we probably brought too much stuff, but you
So-
can kind of get away with it, right?
You can get away with it within reason, but I've done in the past more trips along those lines, and we did have one trip where we were coming back with a lot of stuff in the boat, and we ran into some rough weather. And all of a sudden, things were not so kosher. It's definitely important to make sure you don't overload yourself and that your boat can still fulfill its limits. So whether that means being able to get up to speed or get on plane, you want to have those capabilities for sure. Because when you're porpoising into the waves, it's not a great time.
No. That's a good point. Sure. Yeah, the more weight you load into that boat, it happens quick. Like there's a limit that, like you say, when you lose that performance.
Exactly, and all of a sudden you put an extra 100 liters of water in the boat, and it starts to get heavier real quick. So,
and
that's a past life, though. I don't do that anymore.
Your underwear get heavier too.
Yeah. Yeah. And I guess another thing with this too, like if we're talking, you're not bringing your own boat, maybe you're using lodge boats, whether it's flying in or whatever. I've got a Helix 7 that I took off my old boat. Used to use it for ice fishing too before I had live scope more, and pretty simple. You could even go with a 5, I think, for some of them if you wanted, as long as you can get the mapping. But some of the pre-work you can do is if it's Humminbird, you go to get the live share maps there. Lowrance, I think, is the Genesis live, maybe, if I'm correct.
CMAPS, Genesis,
and
CMAPS. Humminbird, live share.
Yeah, so go to those, check it out. You never know what someone might have uploaded from that lake. Like the place I'm going, I can see the route. Someone auto-charted the route to the one line to the cabins. So even though it's not my boat, you don't want to be hitting rocks anyways, right? So it kind of works out well that way. But it's also something just as simple to just to have 2D if you want it. Like it's nice especially if you're going lake trout, nice for that. And it's something that the pack for it is pretty small, doesn't weigh a ton. You get yourself how much are the 18 amp hour Dakota Lithiums? Like $100, or used to be, I think, when I bought mine. But
they're a little pricier than that, but you can get good options out there.
Yeah, some Amazon options.
200,
like
maybe.
The battery will last you a couple days, probably your weekend trip, whatever, and you're set. And the one thing I learned when I came up to Lac La Marte, because you look up a transducer mount for a tinner. Some people try the suction cups; those suck. Don't ever buy those for a motorized boat.
They'll just end up in your prop.
Yeah, you can get some like heavy duty aluminum mounts, but they cost an arm and a leg. All you need is a 2x4 that's long enough, and you can drill your transducer to that. And you can literally adjust it, grab a C clamp, and clamp that 2x4 to the transom. And it's literally the most versatile thing. You're going up to a shore lunch, pop it up, put it in the splash tray, and you don't have to worry about breaking it. Like, just the easiest thing. And if you want, leave the piece of wood when you leave. Like it could literally be a scrap piece. Yeah, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. I think I just made one for my buddy for the trip we're going on, and I think I estimated with the transducer and how it sits down, it's almost only like a 13 to 15 inch board in length that I needed, and good to go.
That might be the best piece of advice we have on this whole podcast. C-clamp and a 2x4.
C-clamp is like what, like $10-15 at most? They're cheap right now, and it's so easy to do that. So that's my tip. I'll stop talking for the rest of it because I put my input on that.
Because you won't have anything to top that. That's why.
No, that's the best piece. But it's just all kind of you don't need a fish finder, like we said. Lots of these places you're going to. I mean, it's kind of nice sometimes just being up there.
It's really good.
Not looking at anything. But, I mean, if you're not getting on lots of these trips, you want to make it worthwhile as well, if you can, right? Like, I mean, if I'm going up where the ice is just coming off, I don't really know if we'll be fishing anything deeper probably than 10 feet. So I don't really know if we're going to even really need the 2D. But you never know, right? So may as well take it if you got it and make the most of it. But I don't know if
even
you guys...
Just that auto chart for safety too, right? So you can follow your tracks and see your depth change back, and you're like, oh crap, that spot was a little shallow. Maybe I'll take a different route next time and go a little slower. Check it out.
No, for sure. Is there anything else on preparation that we should be touching on?
Of all things to like skimp out on, or like make sure you got plenty of, I would put it as in like water. You don't want to run out of good drinking water, unless you can drink water at camp or whatever. But if you're going camping on a slough water, you got to make sure you have water. First aid kit, as Adam I'm sure can attest to. You need to be prepped on that. Vehicle jack, like air pump, booster pack, booster cables, that kind of safety emergency stuff. It's worth having in your vehicle. A socket set in your vehicle.
Yeah.
It's worth having that.
Make sure
Air
you got
fuses.
a tire iron that actually fits on your boat trailer too. If you go in your boat.
Is that speaking from experience?
Yes.
That's funny. I don't know. I think it's funny hearing your list, Jesse, because you're obviously on a lot more remote roads for a greater percentage of your time when you're going on these trips. Lots of mine coming from Moose Jaw, right? I'm Saskatoon up to PA, up to La Ronge, even up to La Ronge. It's a pretty busy road, depending what time of the day you're going at. I mean, it's still nice to have the stuff to fix it, and especially if you're trying to get to your trip, fix it and get up there so you're not missing out on time. But it's kind of funny hearing that because lots of even coming from the south here, lots of the area to most of these places we're going, it's pretty good. But if you're going Smeaton north towards Flin Flon, lots of that Hanson Lake Road is no service or anything for 3-4 hours, something like that. So
it's
funny story for you from speeding to Flin Flon. When I drove up there last time, that road was so freaking rough. It actually broke the exhaust brackets on my truck, and I had I had baling wire with me, so I was able to wire up my exhaust, keep it from bouncing off the road. But like,
unreal.
It's those little things like that that can make or break a trip. And it all comes with experience. So when something like that does happen, it's just something you won't forget again, or something you'll go, oh yeah, I heard buddy said this happened, and from now on I'm going to carry this. In like you're talking about first aid kits, Jesse, like epinephrine, something I will always have with me from now on, whether that's an EpiPen or a vial with IM needles or whatever. It's important to have. You never know what might happen or what somebody might be allergic to in the bush, and it can literally save somebody's life. So
something that's so simple too.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, I guess even being down the south here, the very first fishing trip I went on, we were just going to Lost Mountain, hour and a half from home, and we were going over the railroad tracks at Chamberlain. It rattled, my leaf spring had snapped, I didn't know, and it rattled it, and it was rubbing against the tire. So we pulled over, and there's a case dealer there, so we jacked up the truck, I pushed it back in line, and then we went to the case dealer and got some industrial-sized zip ties. And we jacked up the truck again. I duct taped and zip tied the leaf spring, and then continued on to Last Mountain for the rest of the trip. So that was only a day trip, but you can make do with some things too. And then I got it fixed right after that.
Let me guess, when you put the jack down, you said, well, that's not going anywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to.
Yeah, that's got half a roll of duct tape and some big zip ties. It's good to go. Yeah, literally went over the railroad track. You could just hear like a and I was like, what is that? And I looked down the tires like, oh, that's not great.
Yikes.
Yeah, so no, that's pretty good with the planning. I guess talking about no service there, some of the newer iPhones, I don't know if it's on Samsung or anything.
I know the newer Samsungs do have SOS capabilities from satellite.
Okay. Yeah, so satellite messaging. I don't know. I haven't dealt with it enough to know if you can receive messages. I've sent messages with it. At least you can let someone know you're good to go. Like a couple of years ago, I was smoked in on a fly-in fishing trip, and luckily they had a satellite phone, so we could call out and say, hey, this is why we're a day later than we're supposed to be. Like, everything's good. We're just smoked in. We can't fly out. So just to let people know, right, what's going on. Or if, unfortunately, something does go wrong, you can also let people know is a big thing. So that's a setting. You can check out your newer phones. I mean, mine's an iPhone 14, and I got the update, and it has it. Adam's 13 mini apparently doesn't have it.
Too small.
Too small. Yeah. No satellites in there. Yeah,
strategic with it.
Yeah, that's another good thing there. And then I guess maybe should we dive into just packing efficiently? Like, I know we touched on it a little bit, but I don't know what you guys do. As far as for myself, like, I'm just thinking what I'll be packing going on this trip here next weekend. Springtime, we're talking about ice still being there. I'm probably not going to waste my time with shorts. or anything like that. Obviously, kind of think
You
about
can
what
always
you're
turn a
doing.
pair of pants into a pair of shorts. You can't turn a pair of shorts into a pair of pants.
That's
Exactly. There you go.
very true.
There you go. That's very true. So, I mean, yeah, if we did want to go swimming, I guess you could just go swimming in your boxers too, or something like that. But I don't know why
Yeah,
we'd be
yeah.
swimming at these temperatures. But just kind of be realistic about what you have. Whether it's packing, you want to pack some layers. If you can get yourself a base layer, that's been awesome. In my last handful of years, as far as outdoor stuff, is getting an actual good base layer. That's kind of a nice thing to have. Some good rain gear. I don't know if you really need to test it in your shower before you go. I know I've seen videos of that. I've seen it as rain gear works and tested in the shower, but just making sure your stuff's good. If you'd used it on a trip before, ideally, if something went wrong on that trip, you kind of remember that and get it fixed when you get home. But kind of just taking a look over everything when you are packing it away. I'll probably be packing most of my stuff into some blue Rubbermaid tubs. This is a boat-in. I may as well just have a fully waterproof tub. It's not like I care if my clothes are wrinkly or whatever up there, right? Like you're up in the bush, and that kind of stuff doesn't matter. Just as far as packing that kind of stuff, it's always good to have some. Like the sun shirts weigh nothing. It's pretty easy to toss one of those in. Sun safety is pretty important. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have anything else for ease of packing.
If money is no object, I would definitely, the Yeti Panga waterproof duffel bags are actually so sick.
Okay.
They're
How
I would
many
highly
liter
recommend them.
are
Okay.
they? Do you know? How many liter? Like, what's the size of them,
I
Adam?
think they come in a 60, 80, and 120. I think
Big-
is how big they are. So the
big
big ones
boys.
are decent size, but
Yeah,
they
yeah.
have 3 different sizes. They're cool.
They're probably $1 a liter, hey?
Probably at least.
$5 a liter.
They're not cheap, but they're
More expensive than
real.
gas right now.
The other thing for base layers, if you are willing to spend the money on good wool base layers versus cotton or
Polyester.
the wool will keep you
Merino.
warmer, even if it gets wet, and it's typically lighter, packs up a little bit thinner. Yeah, would highly recommend that as well.
Yeah. It's easier to stay warm than get warm.
Yeah.
Jeez, look at us. We're just full
These
of good
sags
tips
we've got.
today.
Yeah. I mean, it's
But no,
all simple stuff that you might
it's-
not think of, right? But
That base layer thing is something that, like, you don't realize you have a bad pair until you put on a good set, and you're like,
yeah.
wow. And it's the little things too, like, even just the smell, like that polyester stuff, man. It stinks after 2 days. Where like you pay the money and get a good merino wool base layer, you can wear it for 4 or 5 days and
Yeah.
give it a quick rinse in the water, just just a rinse and a what's the word I'm looking for? I'm
twist
doing the
out,
hand
twist
mo-
it out.
a twist it out, and
Wring
let
it
it
out?
dry. A ring it out, and it's like no stink, no smell. It's fantastic. Which, if you're doing a guy's trip with some buddies, no one wants to smell you in the same clothes for 5 days straight. So bring a bar of soap, or have some plan to wash clothes, or if you're heading to a lodge, and ask them if they got laundry there. Because, like, yeah, no one wants to be bunking with you and your stinky butt for 5 days.
yeah. Yeah. Very fair. Very fair. I guess some other things, packing efficiently, like tackle trays and stuff. You can get some pretty compact tackle trays now too. You could throw all your pliers and whatever other tools that you want to bring into lots of those. I know the wrap stack, I believe. Yeah, I've got so many of those, and they're inexpensive. They're great pieces to have for all of that. Anything that you can kind of do before the trip, maybe try and do that. Like I mean, really giving your knives a good sharpen and stuff. Not that it's hard to bring something to touch them up, but as far as a good sharpening, you can do all that beforehand. If you're doing a fly-in, consider what you're putting your rods in. Please don't show up to the plane with your rods loose. I think that'd be probably one of the number one pet peeves of lots of the float plane pilots.
Yep.
Is that even if it's going to be in the truck on the way up, right? You get onto some of these northern roads, and Adam was talking about how bumpy some of them can be, and anyone who's been up far enough north, you would know Like you don't want your stuff that you've paid money for to be bouncing around like crazy. So consider like you can get the Plano rod tubes, the telescopic ones that work pretty well there. I know I made one out of PVC pipe with my dad quite a few years ago. Like kind of whatever you can. Consider 2-piece rods. That would help a lot too if you're going up there. Like if you're someone who's like, say, a big walleye guy down south, like you don't need all your finesse stuff. Like you can, if you're heading up north, if you just need to bring one rod, I don't know, like a medium heavy
ugly
fast
stick.
medium ugly stick.
Like that's all you actually need, though. You don't need all the different light action, fast tip. It doesn't matter. You're gonna freaking catch fish.
This is my crankbait rod, and this is my drop shot rod.
Yeah. Like you can get away again. It's a weekend trip. Have some fun with it. Like there's probably gonna be so many fish that you don't even know what to do anyways. So that's something to consider there, or whatever kind of fishing you're doing. Like I know me and Adam have the Omen muskies that are telescopic. I might bring one of those on the trip just because I want to throw big baits that I don't really throw down here too much. So just for something fun to do, right? So just kind of consider what you're going to be fishing for with that kind of stuff too. But it's
actually wild how well those rods pack up. To get down even to 7'6" from a 9'6" rod is such a big difference when you're trying to move it around.
Well, yeah, even it fit into my Plano one, and I was able to fly those on WestJet.
Yeah,
like that was quite nice
awesome
there. So yeah, and when you are packing your stuff, and if you are going to be bouncing, if your float plane's probably the smoothest ride you're going to get for stuff. If it's a boat in or a drive in, you're probably going to be banging around pretty good. But you can use your clothes as kind of insulation inside for things. If you've got some more fragile stuff, I do that all the time. Whether even just flying with WestJet, like my boxers and my hoodies and my shirts, they just are packing insulation between all my tackle trays and stuff like that. If you are flying on commercial, I put my reels in my carry-on. I don't mess with those getting crunched or whatever underneath potentially, depending on what you're using there. But yeah, I don't know. Anyone else got any tips on the packing?
No, I always wrap.
That's pretty good.
I go to like not a dollar store, a consignment store or whatever, and always pick up a cheap bed sheet, and I'll wrap all my rods in that. To kind of roll the first bit, 2 or 3 rolls into it, the next rod 2 or 3 rolls, and then I slide that into my rod tube and keep all my rods protected in there.
Right.
Nice.
For sure. Yeah, good cooler is always good. You're not going to be disappointed with a good cooler, I don't think. Obviously, you can get away with some of the cheaper ones depending how long you're going, but a good cooler is awesome. They are heavier, so consider that depending what you're doing. Like if you're on a canoe trip, you probably don't want to bring your Yeti or your Woods. Well, you might if you don't really care about the weight, but just kind of consider some of that stuff. But yeah, I don't know if I have anything
like
else to add to it.
On that note there, Logan, like freezing milk jugs of water, like obviously empty milk jugs, fill them up with water, put those in your deep freeze and use those as ice packs in your cooler. That'll last a lot longer than your bag of ice for your beers.
And then you can drink it.
Yeah, then it's extra water.
Very water conscious this episode.
Got to be thinking.
Yeah. Well, and obviously depending on the trip you're going on, not blind to the fact probably could be liquor involved. Whether it's in the evenings around the fire, it is easy to get carried away or whatever with that if it's a boys trip or friends weekend kind of thing. But just remember where you are. Think of how long it took you to get up there or how long the flight in was, because that's how far help is lots of the time too. So kind of obviously there's you want to have fun, but it's something to consider, and it takes one slip up. Like my finger's healing now, but it was one slip up in the garage and I could see my tendons. So it doesn't take much for things to go sideways, right? So keep that in mind. That's why it's good to have lots of the contacting devices that we talked about earlier on in the episode there too. But not to put a damper on things.
Yeah. No, that's all good.
To wrap things
he
up
wasn't
here.
even drinking when that happened either.
No, I was stone cold sober. It's Sunday 10 a.m. Just trying to open a new package of pliers. Yeah.
Dang.
But
five stitches?
Only 3, but I think he could have put 2 more. So I got up to 5. Yeah. No, she's healing now. So first time getting stitches.
Oh yeah, that's all right. You'll be good if we go carp fishing this weekend. You'll be ready to rock.
Well, I was thinking about strip setting, and I'm like, that it's luckily closed up now, but like 3 or 4 days ago, I'm like, that line would have just went right into there.
Catch it in there, rip it all out. Oy.
Ugh.
Yeah. That's assuming I will get to set the hook.
True, yeah. We got to see the fish first. The weather needs to cooperate.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Just 10 degrees and raining and no sun isn't very good for sight
it's
fishing.
not good, no.
The weather forecast this week is not good.
No. Well, does anyone have anything to wrap this part up? Or is the pre-fish complete?
I think the pre-fish is complete, unless we want to talk for another 45 minutes about breaking down a brand new lake.
That could be the next pre-fish.
Yeah, all right, cool. We'll
Sure.
get Adam on for that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just go have fun and try not to overthink everything. That's all.
Yeah. Go cast around, have some fun with your friends, family, whatever the trip's going to be. Really appreciate Adam coming on last minute
Heck
here.
yeah.
Basically got a FaceTime call from me.
Appreciate
coming on the
invite, boys.
podcast.
No, good to see you both. I appreciate it and accommodating my afternoon, letting me get a few things done. It's all good. Always enjoy seeing you boys.
If anyone hasn't listened to a podcast you've been on yet, Adam, where can people find you? What's your shtick if people want to go fishing with you?
Sounds good. Yeah, so I'm Adam. Run Adam's Angling Adventures. Do half-day trips, full-day trips, trophy fishing packages. Trophy fishing packages typically run 2 to 5 days, and kind of as we mentioned throughout the episodes, either camping or cabins can be involved, all that kind of fun stuff. I've got the website, adamsanglingadventures.ca or .com. I bought both.
Baller!
Got my Instagram, Adam's Angling Adventures, and Adam Gamble Outdoors. Feel free to check me out there. Same thing on Facebook, Adam's Angling Adventures and Adam Gamble Outdoors. So
Perfect.
He's prepared. He's the most prepared out of the three of us by a country mile, I think.
that's just the
He's-
autism.
Yeah. It's type A. Yeah.
When I went down into your fishing tackle room there, what was that, 2 weeks ago? Like my jaw damn near hit the floor. I was just like, oh, this is what it could look like.
Yeah.
It took a lot of work, but it definitely, like I said, it just makes life a lot easier when you have a last-minute trip even. The guy books for tomorrow morning, you're not ready, and frick, you just grab what you need and you're set to go.
Yeah.
Good to go.
Yeah.
Good to go.
Organized, labeled, rocking out the door.
Well, that's going to wrap up the Pre-Fish Volume 4. Thank you for tuning into this episode. Just to wrap things up here, big thanks to 13 Fishing Canada for being the presenting sponsor of the show. You can buy lots of the stuff that we talked about on here, the wrap stacks, the Omen musky rods, all that, and you can save yourself 15% off with the code Weekend Warriors. That's all we got in this one. Me and Jesse are maybe going to find some carp this weekend. Might be the plan. We'll see if that actually happens.
Yeah.
Have to stay tuned for that one. But until then, we'll see you in the next one.